This is part one of the story. For some reason, YouTube have taken the whole video down. So what I've done is I've re-edited it, taken out the bits I don't think they like, and I've turned it into two parts because it became a bit long. So this is part one. Hello, welcome to Somerset News Network, my second channel. Now, I told you I couldn't find my MP. I emailed him, texted him, phoned the Commons, and didn't hear a thing. Anyway, I did a video. Where is my MP? And it got 19,000 views, but it did the trick. I did that on the Friday. On the Sunday, I had an email saying that he was on it and he was waiting for a reply. On Monday, he phoned me up. I was in shock. Anyway, credit where credit's due. The guy did his job, which is what I asked him to do. I had a problem, and I think he solved it. It isn't finished yet, but there is a backstory to all this problem. Now, what happened was, I put a comment on a Facebook post, which was factual, it was true. And I got a guy around here in the village who does not like me. I don't know why. I haven't done anything to him at all. He reported me to the police, or used one of his sock puppets or one of his mates to report me to the police. That triggered a 4-month police investigation. That's where all this started. But it goes way back. 10 years ago. I haven't had any dealings with him for 10 years. He was out of my life, out of the way. 10 years ago I had a problem with him and I blocked him on Facebook and everything. Anyway, 3 years before that, 2010, he was illegally shooting with 6 guys on the farm where I shoot. The farmer phones me and says, "Oh, we're getting rid of him. Come down and film him," because he knew I did YouTube videos. I was in Gloucester at the time, in the gun shop in Gloucester, dropping work off and getting new work. So on the way back home, I dropped the guns off at home in the workshop and went up and had a cup of tea with him. And he told me the whole story. The guy turned up with 6 guys, said that the guy that rents the ground gave him permission to shoot. But what he'd done is he told the landowner, the farmer that I know, that the tenant had given him permission to shoot, and he told the tenant that the landowner had given him permission to shoot, and he was playing one off against the other. Anyway, I got the story and I told it on Facebook. The moral of the story is you've got to make sure you've got permission to go on the ground so you're legal. I get a policeman at my door. This is 2010. I get a policeman and a WPC. Well, the first thing I know is they got no numbers on, which I think is illegal. And he comes in and he says, "We're investigating you for harassment. You're going to be arrested." I said, "What? Me? What have I done?" He said, "Your Facebook post was harassment." And I said, "Well, I didn't name the guy. And I'm still not naming him." Anyway, so he had a folder with him. He took out a copy of my Facebook post and read it. Saw that the guy's name was not on it, put it back in his folder, and started to walk out the door. "You gotta be careful," said the copper. "He had permission to be there." And I said, "I think you are wrong." "Well, I know you're wrong. You should go and speak to the landowner," and I gave him his name and I even gave him his phone number. I said, "You speak to him and ask whether he had permission to shoot." And that was it. All done, all dusted, gone away. And I thought, that's odd. You know, I reported something that had happened that was illegal, and I'm going to be arrested for harassment. I didn't even name the guy. I'm not naming the guy now. Anyway, 3 years on, the guy is shooting in a piece of woodland on the top of the golf course. Now, I know that we're not allowed to shoot it. And I know the landowner, the guy that owns the wood. And we were taking the dogs for a walk, and I met the guy and we had a chat. And I said, "Oh, has this guy got permission to shoot on your land?" He said, "Ian, you know nobody shoots on my land. It's a conservation area." I said, "Well, I know that." I said, "But you've got somebody shooting in the bottom of your woods in normally February going into March, roost shooting pigeons, because the pigeons used to roost there. If you see him again," and he gave me his phone number, "if you see him again, let me know." Anyway, it was about 4 o'clock one February afternoon. It was like the reenactment of the OK Corral. Bang, 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 bang. Pigeon, I got binoculars out and had a look. A pigeon would come up the flight line along the hedge of the woods, and there'd be about 6 guns firing at it. Bang, 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 bang. Remember that old cartoon, Stop the Pigeons? Well, that's what it was like. And the pigeon would just fly off. Anyway, I phoned the landowner up, and I said, "The guy's shooting in your woods again, down the bottom." He said, "I've just come out of hospital. I can't go down. Would you mind coming up and getting rid of him for me?" Well, I didn't really want to get involved, but he was illegally shooting, and it was either that or the police get called, and then all the guys there would lose their licenses, and I didn't want that to happen. So me and my mate, who I go shooting with, came up with me, and I took my camera and I walked down through the woods, and I found the guy, and I said, "You know you're not allowed to shoot here, don't you?" He said, "The farmer gave me permission." Well, I said, "It's not the farmer's land, is it? It's Mr. Land, and he would like you to go." "Well, the golf course wanted me to come in here." And I said, "It's nothing to do with them, it isn't their land either." "Who's giving you permission to be on here, mate?" Sorry? The golf course? Yeah. You know this isn't owned by the golf course?
Yeah, we're told just to stand inside the hedge.
I just had a phone call from the landowner up the top to say someone's shooting and see who it was.
Ah, well, we're just inside from the golf course. Mr. Plant asked us to be here as well as the golf course.
Yeah, this isn't Mr. Plant's ground, is it?
No, I know this isn't, that is over there, right?
Yeah, I know you got permission on there. I'm not complaining about that.
No,
You have permission to shoot on the golf course and on the camp. Yeah. That's not a problem.
Yeah, no, well,
but this piece of woodland is owned by the gentleman at the top.
Ah, that we didn't know. We were just told to stand just inside the wood.
Okay.
Okay, that's and police comms are informed as well. We told them we were here.
Well, that isn't any good if you haven't got permission, is it?
Well, like I say, we were told to stand just inside the woods.
So. Okay, all right. Okay. And I used fluent Anglo-Saxon and asked him to politely go. And they all went. Anyway, I told the story that we caught him poaching and that I got the video and I just told the story around.